Good morning, everyone. Kevin, starting to warm up. Just got back from the trip at midnight last night, so see how we do today. 3632. 628. Primary and front side. 632-145. Good morning, Chris. Congratulations, Chris, on your engagement. Maybe we could do the honeymoon trip to Alaska together on the cruise. See? 3632. 134, Big Joe. Three 3632. Good morning, Justin. Five hard 10, obey bushel. Six, three, two. You might be, that's her birthday that weekend. Okay. I don't think he's gonna be doing it the July 4th weekend, Chris. He mentioned this last week that that was a different trip than what he had thought. That trip was going out of Montreal instead of Seattle. So he's gonna check the dates, he said. Good morning, Navaldo. And Marble Fork Chaz. Good morning. 145. Oh, 628. Using a cousin 2 set for warm up right now. 3632. 358. Still pitch in the right die. 6365. Good morning, Frida. 2 hard 4. 3632. 325. Single pitch right die. 312. 167. Left die stopped. Okay, 2.5 minutes here. Good morning, Kevin Scott again. So tomorrow, and I'll announce it in a little bit. Tomorrow we're going to be doing, instead of a dice throwing show, we're going to be doing a trip recap. It's going to be a little bit of a late start tomorrow, so I'm not going to do any kind of warm up at all. I have to drop the granddaughter off at school in the morning, and then come back and get the show started. Short on the landing zone, 112. Could use that a couple times this trip. Let's get Crapsee here. Six, 3, 2. One, 4, 5. 5, 1, 5, 4. Good morning, Royce. Good morning, Uncle Hoku. Uncle Hoku, I tried meeting up with you at Fremont. I went in probably about 3, 4 times looking for you. I didn't see you at all. I was hoping to have seen you and say hi. Four, 1, 5. I did play at the Fremont on one of the mornings. That was interesting. So let's get 3, 6, 3, 2, and then we'll get the show started here. Here we go. Welcome to Level Up with CMJ. Hey, my name is Joe. This is my Craps Master Dice Shooting Journey. Let's make it yours too. Today's episode number 442 of the Level Up program and day number 152 of the Black Belt. Hey, if you're new to the program, this is my daily practice of shooting dice at the craps table, as well as playing a blue collar craps style of play. On the YouTube side of things, we got Kevin Scott checking in number 1, followed up by Chris from Dice DJ. We got Justin Martin Navaldo, Marble Fork, Frida, Uncle Hoku, Royce, Lazy Dog, Trampy, Coach Joe, and SJ. Everybody's checking in. I'm actually surprised there's so many people here. So in the beginning here, since I haven't gone live for the last few days, and this is kind of I wasn't sure if I was gonna go live this morning or not. I got home actually at midnight last night from Vegas. So tomorrow my plans are starting to show at about 8:30 Central Time, and we're going to be doing a trip recap instead of a rollout or practice shooting, just so everybody knows. We did not go to see the Elvis show, but we'll kind of cover that stuff. So make sure you guys come tomorrow with lots of questions, so you can ask away what was going on, and how things went for us. I will say that it was a winning trip for me on multiple levels, including the dollar values. So I still have to put final totals together, but I was somewhere around that $1,000 mark for the win. So I think it was closer to like 900. But we'll get final totals tomorrow for you guys and pictures. And again, come with questions. You know, do what you need to do. I did throw an ATS and I threw a small all in the same row, and then the next day I threw another small. So we'll talk about that stuff as well. So thank you, Justin. But it was some fun times, very fun times. But let's get started here. If you're playing along with Crapsee, click that live tab. That'll bring you over to the table that we're using today. And we got 12 people on Crapsee right now. We got 16 people watching, 8 likes. So make sure you give me that thumbs up as you guys go along here. But we're going to start off with the cousin 2 set, 3236. And we'll call that all bets set. Dice out. So I did use a variety of throws this weekend, I will say that. And everybody will attest that I was able to adjust to the table conditions for the most part. Dice out. And we have a 2-2 hard 6, the hard hard 6, hard 4, the fuzzy hard 4. I can't even talk this morning. It's 2-2. It's going to Cruise with Brian from Holy Roller. And I did meet Brian this weekend. Excellent guy, excellent guy. And I've met Fuzzy on multiple occasions. So let's go back again, 3632. The point is 4. So let's mark that point. 3632 is the first set. And we're going back to the 3632 to start this next roll. We're going to go 320 across, including, this could be 50 and a 4, 5, 9, and 10. We got 60 and that 6 and 8. And SGA got to meet down there, which was a blast. I was really happy to see him. I wish I would have had more time to have talked to him and his wife, Hazel. All bets set here, 3632. Days out. They did cross at the end. We got 369, and that would be the triple D, the Dice Dr. Dan. Oops, that rolled on me. That was a 3-6, not a 6-6. The 3632 with a 369 result. So that's gonna be hit number 1 for us. Good morning, Mad Hatter. And that was what we had, a 9. So that's going to bring both the 5 and the 9, because we're going to press both of them up to $85. So let me lock in that 6 and 8 quick before I do that. So we're going to go 85 on the 5 and 9. I did not bet at this level when I was down in Vegas. The highest level I did bet was 160 across, and that was only one time. And I'll explain to you guys when that happened. But mostly, I played the $15 Horseman. Tables were cold. Unreal. Were they cold? Yeah, very much so. What do we have? We had a 3-6. So we're going to go with 2-3-2-6 dice set. 2-3-2-6. So a lot of people were losing money. I was playing that $15 Horseman, and I was actually collecting $15, $30 at a time. So most of the sessions, not all, most of the sessions were winners, although they were not huge winners. And we got a 6-4-10. That is Waylon's best friend on that end. Sorry, Glenn. So we got a 2-3-2-6 dice set. The 6-4-10 result. And that's going to be hit number 2, which will be enough to bring us down, I believe. It is. So we're going to bring our bets down. We're going to go to 160 across. So we have 168 brought back to the rack, 160 across. Good morning, Brian. And that means that we actually have a profitable first shooter here. I did try, if you guys watched it crash for the cure on the second day, Dave from Casino Quest or CEG Dealer School or Daddy Dave or whatever you want to call them. Went through a little strategy, and I actually used that at that $25 level, which is where you bet the 4 and 10. And if either one gets hit, you're gonna full press it, or you actually put what you brought back. So say I put a quarter on, I win 50 for one. I put that whole 50 out there, so it's like $75 on. And my example was a 4. So I put 75 on a 4. About 3 or 4 rolls later, that 4 hit again, so I got $150 for 3. So what you do is you bring everything down to a 160 cross, and I did that at one shooter, and it worked, and it was pretty cool. I had everything pressed up. I was up by $300 on a table or whatever, and then I pulled the money down, and the next roll was a 7, so I walked out. But let's go all bet set here again. 2624 this time. That was an interesting story on that one. This as they cross again, we have a 5-4 hard 9 to Big Daddy Mac. So what was that? I said that was a 2624. And we have a 5-4-9 result. So more spin and less chin, Joe. Let's get her done here. Good morning, Glenn. Papa Chops. So we're going to press the 9 and a 5 up 35. We're going to be a little bit aggressive today in the beginning. We are up. Our win goal is $500. So if you guys get to win goal, make sure you put in the chat that you made goal. And we'll call that all bet set. We're up to 15 people playing along, 23 people watching, 10 likes. And we have got not a dice set. I got to set the dice. Let's go with 6564. Cross 6s on top, 6564. Dice up. And 6-1. So medium short roll here. Start, but we did make a little bit of a profit. So we had a 6564 with a 617 result. And it was very evident, especially for the amount of play that we did this weekend, that you really need to play that short game. And that's where the horseman came in really nicely. I threw 2 ATSs this weekend, and I'll explain that tomorrow as well. 2 ATSs, and I threw 2 sides of the ATS throughout the week here. So 3632. And I had witnessed 2 of them, so can't say that was just Joe talking, but I actually had a witness, multiple witnesses for all those rolls. But I also had several short rolls as well. So we'll go all bets set here. No line bets for me. Dice out. 3632. Cousin 2 sets. Oh, that was a high bounce. 156 KitchenAid mixer. So let's mark that point of 6. 3632 is the dice set. 156 is the point. Horseman Royce is a strategy made popular by John at Procraps. And by the way, I'm going to go 320 across here real quick. And what it is, it's how John does it is he does it as a don't pass bet followed up by 3 come bets. And what I do is I don't do a don't pass. I actually do a DC bet. So I wait for that point to get established. I put a $15 DC down, and then get that established. And then I go three $15 come bets. And in Vegas, what I did is I just had those four bets and I let them resolve themselves. And half the time it broke even, half the time I made $30. And then seldom would it lose all three, all four of those bets. But basically, like I said, it's just a $15 DC bet for me, and then followed up by three come bets. And it's a way to play the short game to get a little bit of money back. Um, so Justin says that Color Up has a good video on the horseman. Yep. John at Procraps has probably about 20 videos on different varieties or variations of how to do the horseman, but that's just the basic way of doing it that I just explained. So go back again, 3632. Dice out. Looking for our first hit for this shooter. One 134. That is the Big Joe from Craftsmaster Journey. Or as Fuzzy says, not a bad roll, Joe. So that'll be a hit number one here. And let's do this little strategy. Instead of going cross pressure like I normally would, that is $98 right back. So we're going to pressure the 4 for $100. So we're going to make it look like $150. And what'll happen now is if I hit that 150, that'll be enough money to come down and actually go 320 across for free. So that was kind of a neat little way of doing things. And it does work because a lot of times you'll see repeats on either 4s or 10s. Now, if I was at the 10, what you would do is you'd bring them back down to starting value, and that'll give you a couple extra bullets to try it again. So 2, 1, 2, 3 is what we're going with. All bets set. John's the one, actually, Justin, that came up with that strategy, or at least promoted the strategy, if you will. Jeremy did he does a lot of rollouts of all the people's different videos and that, so our strategies. So dice out. And we have a 2, 4, 6, a Kevin the Carpenter 2x4. So we hit the number 2 again. That'll get us out of the shooter if I want to, but I'm gonna try hitting that 4. So I'm gonna go again here. So 2, 1, 2, 3 was the dice set, and we had a 2, 4, 6 result. So I may end up regretting this, but we're going to press our luck here a little bit. So that was a winner 6, by the way. But we're going to pressure up that 6 and the 9 to $96 right away. And then we'll turn our bets off once we get to the 96 level on the 6 and 8. And bets off. There we go. So we're going to be looking for a point here. We'll set the dice. 1, 2, 1, 4 is our new dice set. 1, 2, 1, 4. And let's go all bets set. Dice out. Looking for a new point. Shooter number 2. 415. That is the truck and camper. So let's mark that point of 5 using a 1, 2, 1, 4 dice set and receiving a 415 result. So the puck gets turned back on. Our bets were set there. So let's see if we can hit that 4 again. That would be pretty cool. Show you guys how that strategy works then. So 2, 4, 2, 1 is the new dice set. And let's go all bets set. So 17 people playing along. We got 23 people watching. A little bit long on that. Oh, that is exactly what I was hoping for. 314, the Big Joe from Crafts Master Journey. So that's a 2421 dice set. We got a 314 result. Now what happens is I have $150 on that 4 because we did a full press when we hit that first 4. So we went from 50 to 150. So that brings back 293 after the vig. So technically what I could do is I could come down and I would be 160 across for free. Now, so let's bring our bets down. We'll go 160, I'm sorry, 320 across for free. We could go. But I'm going to go 160 across for free. And the reason being is I'm only $26 away from goal. So good morning, Jerry Mitchell. So that is a nice hit, Chappie. Yes, it is. So again, I'm going 160 across for free. I could go 320 across for free with that one hit there. But we're going to go 160 across because we're only $26 away from goal. So if I can get one hit here, oh, I said it. Let's go 5351. If I can get one hit here, that'll bring me up and over goal. So let's do that once. All bets set. Peace out. And we got it. We got a 5-5 hard 10, the Old Bay bushel. So that's actually a nice hit because that's going to double up on it for me. Our dice set was 5351. 5-5 hard 10 results. So there's a primary on top on both sides. So that puts me at 533 for the earnings today. So that's 4,533. So I made goal. So that's awesome. So we're gonna bring our bets down, and I'm gonna actually do the 410 thing again, but we're gonna do it at the $15 level now. So that way, if I would happen to lose it, I still made goal for the day. And this is where you really need to watch your bankroll and manage your bankroll. I know that, and everybody will attest that was there. I played blue collar crap style the entire week. Low bankroll. I was buying in between 300 to 500 every single day. Royce made goal. Good, awesome. 300 to 500 was my buy-in each time I stepped up to the table. And never did I have to go back into the pocket to get more money to put out. I'll go all but set here. And this out. I stay cross at the end there. We have a 628. The Duracell 8. Go out, support free live content and give that thumbs up where deserved, please. So we got a 3632 dice set with a 628 result. The only thing blue collar crap style that I did not do, and this is part of being the group, everyone, is that when I hit my win goal, I kept on playing. I didn't get off the table, but I did pull back my level of play somewhat. And that was helpful to preserving the bankroll because, like I said, there was a lot of short rolls there. 3632 is our new dice set again. And let's go all bets set. So if you're just joining in, again, tomorrow I'll be going live at 8:30 Central Time and approximately 8:30 Central Time. I might be a few minutes late because of setup, and I have to bring my granddaughter to school in the morning. But we're going to go through the trip report, pictures, talking about what all happened. Base out. It's crossed again. This time it's a 347. 7 ouch. So we made goal. and I am not going to dip below. So I'm just going to start rolling out for you guys. I'm going to do a couple different things here just to practice different things. And I'm going to be done betting. So I'm at 45.03. So I'm $3 above goal. I would cash out, toss the $3 to the dealer, say, hey, thank you. And they'd be like, you cheap ass. You could have tipped me more than that. But 3632, we're going to go with the Yuri style grip now. And I did use the Yuri grip on one of the tables there. It was at the, where was it at? The Sunset Palace. I think it's a Palace Station casino. That's where John and all those guys were staying at. And their table was a hard table, but when I went like this, with the layout, I could move it like 2 inches apart. It was like not really attached really hard to the table itself. So I think what was happening is, since it was a hard table and you had that stretch on the thing, every time the dice landed, they bounced. I mean, it was like a really bouncy table, even though it was a very hard table. So I took my normal style throw and I actually started using the Yuri style grip, and I was able to land a dice and keep it within 6 inches of the back wall, even though it was bouncing all over for everybody. So let's go all about set here. 3632. Days out. And we have a 4-5 hard 9 Big Daddy Mac. So let's mark that point of 9, and I'm going to stick with the 3632 dice set throughout for now. I'm not going to change it around just so I can enter it in a little bit easier for you guys. So 4-5 hard 9, point of 9. Santa Fe. I don't think I went to the Santa Fe at all this last week, Royce. So 3632. And let's get some rolls in here since I'm not doing any betting. We're probably going to get a few more rolls in. So all bets set. Again, we're going to go Yuri style grip. The one comment that I received a lot of comments about my throwing this weekend, but one comment that really stuck out to me was one that Craig from Obey Craps made. And 3-4-7. So that's an early 7. We'll switch over to that cousin 1 set. 3-6-3-2. That's a great example how if you hit gold, you need to get off that table. Let's switch over to the cousin 1 set here on the next roll. But the one comment about my throw that did stick out was no, they did not stay at Santa Fe. They stayed at the Sunset Palace or Sunset Casino in Henderson, is where John and Ian and a couple of the others stayed. I think Ryan was there from Mark to Point. We're gonna go 3-2-3-6 for our dice set. But the comment that Craig had made that stuck out to me, this is like the fourth time I'm bringing this up, is he was surprised on how low to the table my throw stays. So like this Yuri style grip, my throw only gets I would say probably about 12 to 14 inches off the table. It doesn't go any higher than that really. And my normal throw probably goes about 2 feet off the table, maybe 2.5 feet. So that was one of the comments that Craig made, that he was very surprised to see with my dice throw. And for me, when I do that way, I'm able to control the energy coming off the back wall a little bit easier that way. So dice out. 3-2-3-6. And we have a 4-3 and a come out. Wow. Here I'm switching it around, trying to make it more advantageous to everybody, but 4-3, pass line winner, come out natural. I did use primarily the cousin 2 set this week, and I did do rhythm rolling most of the time when I was shooting, sticking with the cousin 2 sets. And if that was not working, I used the all 7 set, 5-4-2-3. And let's go to that right now, 5423. And then the other set that I used was the Hardway set. I only used the Hardway set when I was doing the stadium craps. So stadium craps, first time I ever playing it. And I did throw the ATSDL on the stadium craps. I had a 2-on-2 on this on that, so I made like, I don't know, it was like $400 or $500 off of that. So 5423, dice out. Dice they cross again, 145, a truck and tracker. Let's mark that point of 5. 5423 was a dice set. We got a 145 result. I think the other thing, and this is something I'm not able to do on the show here, but when I'm actually shooting the dice, and Brian from Brian Flegel, who's in the chat, he can attest to this. But when I do shoot the dice, I'm like laser focused. I tune everything out. I lean over the edge of the table, and I just stare at the dice. The dice are over in the center of the table, and they're, still paying the bet. So I'm looking at the dice to see how I'm going to set them next. And I had a couple of people comment on that, on how laser focused I am at the table. Like I said, doing a show, it's a little bit hard to do that because you're concentrating on all these different things. But at the table, it's a lot easier to do. Face out. Dice crossed again, 369. And that is another triple D, Dice Dr. Dan. 5423 is a dice set. 369. Result. Five, 4, 2, 3 is a dice set again. So I would be, that would have been a first hit for me there. And we got all bets set. 5, 4, 2, 3. Interest, weird as it is, I'm having a hard time talking today. Weird as it is, when I did use the Yuri grip, no one really made any comments about it, about changing the style grip. And we have midnight. OMC craps, all the dots, all the spots. It's midnight. I know that they did notice that I changed that grip though, because I had mentioned it to people and they said that they had seen that, but they didn't really make any comments about it, which that kind of surprised me a little bit. Because it's not a normal style grip. I did see some very interesting style grips when I was down there. I saw one guy cover the dice completely and pick them up like this and toss them. And they looked random as hell, but that guy had like a 30-40 roller. Made a little bit of money off of him. We'll go all bets set here, 5, 4, 2, 3. So a lot of shake and bacon. Three, 1, 4, Big Joe from Wisconsin. Not a bad roll, Joe. Met a sheesh down there, and that was a very pleasant experience meeting him. Actually, it was different than what I expected, and extremely nice guy. Extremely nice guy. Yeah, Brian says Joe gets his feet set, then his body, then his nose down, full on focus. Yep, 100%. That's a comment, not a comment, habit that I actually picked up from Ed from Roll the Win, where he says that he sets his feet at the side of the table and he does not move them during the entire roll. And that's one thing that I do when I'm at the table is I get my feet set and I do not move those feet. I try not to talk to anybody when I'm throwing the dice either. Although that is dispelled from this last visit, and I'll explain tomorrow why. Dice out. Ooh, high energy. 5-3-8, the grape ape. Oops, that roll. That was a 5-3. 5-4-2-3 is a dice set. We have a 5-3-8 result. So that's going to be a single pitch of the dice. But I did notice that adjustments needed to be made. There was one table that I was having a hard time, and I actually had a decent roll with it, but I had a hard time with it because when I'm shooting down to the end of the table, I'm looking for points on the table to hit, like a marking of some sorts. And this table, the pass line was out here where the don't pass is, and that's hard for me to set up a way out there because I'm normally in closer. I'm normally about a foot away from the back wall. So there was no landing zone point, so I had to kind of do some other things. And that, yep, chef was a interesting gentleman. I'll let him tell his story, but very interesting. And some of the people that he had met in his life and worked for in his life was amazing. Hearing him talk about it a little bit. 5-4-2-3, very generous individual. Dice out. There we go. That's what I want to get the dice to do is to stop. 1-4-5, truck and camper. 2-3 dice at 1-4-5 results. And I was able to do that on that one table at the sunset by getting the dice to stop like that. Within actually 6 inches of the back wall, which is far better than most of the other people were doing. 5-4-2-3. Like I said, it was a hard table, but that table layout was moving around on us. You could move it like up to 2 inches. I could move just with my fingers as I was setting the dice. So we'll go all but set. 21 people playing along here, 27 people watching. We got 14 people saying thumbs up. Let's see if we can increase that number, please. That would be greatly appreciated by everybody. Dice out. 1-5-6, the KitchenAid mixer. 5-4-2-3 with a 1-5-6 result. I will say this, that I had some decent rolls, and it felt good to be able to do that in front of my peers. You shoot daily on your own home table here. A lot of times I go to my home casino, I don't have anybody to witness that's in our community. So a lot of it's just my word against your word, But it was nice to do those nice rolls in front of people from the community so they can at least vouch for me. And I didn't totally embarrass myself. And that's coming from somebody who's self-taught himself how to do this. Never had any formal training. 5-4-2-3 is out. And we have a 4-6-10. That is Waylon's best friend on that end. Sorry, Glenn. So this row here, let me get that entered in. I would have that 10 there would have, if I would have been doing that strategy, I would have brought my bets down now and I would have reset them. I was just looking to see if that would have been another winning strategy there. Good morning, Dice Dr. Dan. Good morning, Jen. Jen's called me the copycat Joe. The reason being is because Jen was shooting a lot of times either from stick right 1 or stick right 2, and I was normally at stick left 1. And it was amazing. I mean, and it was not planned by any means, but every single time Jen had a certain number for a roll, I matched it. So if she rolled 8 or 9 or 28, I matched it. And I have a suspicion, and this is a joke, by the way. I have a suspicion that she was cheating because I think I threw a 29. I think I beat her by 1 roll. That's an inside joke, everyone. And Dan and I and Mary went on a day trip yesterday, or 2 days ago. The most amazing trip I've had. So, and that'll hopefully be covered in the trip report tomorrow as well. So 5, 4, 2, 3, dice out. Perfect landing. Do you see how they just kind of skidded in and stopped? 369, and that is the triple D. Thanks, Dr. Dan. Yeah. So if you're just joining in, tomorrow I am going to have a show. It's going to be probably around 8:30 Central Time when I start it. It'll be a trip report, so we're not going to do any rollouts at all tomorrow. But I do have pictures to share, stories to tell. I'll kind of review what I was doing for betting. I'll kind of review my wins, losses, that type of stuff, and that. I did get the first set of photos, Dan. Thank you. We got home about 11:30 last night, midnight, somewhere in that area, from the airport. So it was a long day. So we pretty much brought the luggage in the house, parked ourselves down for 2 minutes to sit and talk, and then we went to bed right away. So 5, 4, 2, 3, dice out. 4, 2, 6. Kevin a Carpenter 2x4. And primary and the front side on both dice. And for anybody that doesn't know, Jen can actually throw the damn dice. She adds some very nice rolls as well. Length and quality. But yeah, it was kind of funny how that happened because it was amazing how I had almost identical length of rolls as what she did. Almost, and it didn't happen more once. It happened on multiple occasions that way. In fact, there was one table that was really super cold, and then she had a 28 roller, and then that was a stick right 2. And then there was a gentleman in between us that had like a 0.7 or he had a 3 or 4 roller or whatever. People lost money on that one. And then I came back with that 28 roller, which was the big roll for me for the week. Hit the ATS and the small, all in the same roll. So that was kind of neat. So that's it. 3, 5, grape ape. 8 is a hot number on this roll. That one went down and sat against the wall as well. So that's exactly what we're looking for. Although Jen was a little bit upset with me on a lot of my rolls because I had a few come out 7s, a few 11s. Girls can really throw dice. Yes, the girls can throw dice. We had to have a step stool for her, but it worked. I'm just teasing. Just teasing. Oh my God. That's all about set. Dice out. A little bit of a roll back on that left die. We have a 2, 3, 5. The Justice 5. Jen comes into chat and we throw her number right away. 5, 4, 2, 3. 2, 3, 5 result. So we've thrown all box numbers on this roll except for one number. That's pretty quality there. Quality points don't show it though. And we got all bets set right away. 5, 4, 2, 3. Nice out. Comfortable. Let's regrip them. You guys made goal here on this today. Make sure you put in the chat that you made goal. Nice out. I made goal. I think was it second shooter or first shooter? Second shooter. I made goal on today. So 639. That is the easy 9 to soft Frank. 423 is a dice set. We have a 639 result. So we're using the all winner set right now. And that Frank got you to go. That's good, Glenn. We'll go all bet set here. Anybody else make goal? Make sure you put in chat. 5, 4, 2, 3. Dice cross at the end. Another 3, 2, 5. Justice 5. 4, 2, 3. Yeah. 5. All we need is that midnight. If we can get to midnight, which we have a new dice call I came up with this weekend, and if we could throw the correct midnight, because it's a midnight call, if we could throw the correct midnight, I will give you guys what the dice call is. It's one of the individuals that I met there, and he asked for a dice call, and we came up with one for him. So it's kind of neat. It was nice to see Carrie at the Craps for the Cure. That it was. She was there on Saturday for part of the day and for most of the day on Sunday. I went up and introduced myself right away. Very, very nice lady. Nice out. And 257. That is the Bruce. Not become shark bait. So that is going to be a 7 out. So that was a decent roll. 16. 42 roll quality points. So our SOR is mediocre today. SRR is not the worst, I guess. Let's go minimum of one more shooter. Let's stick with the 5, 4, 2, 3. We'll stick with the Yuri style toss. Like I said, I did use it on that one table and it did work very well. So I do need to practice it a little bit more often, I think. That used to be my primary way of throwing. For quite a while, I'd used the Erie style toss. Or I shouldn't say toss, I should say grip. Dice out. 3, 3 hard. 6, that is the double degen. Let's mark that point as 6. That left eye did bounce out a little bit. And I'm not betting anymore again. I made goal, so I'm not going to lose it this time. I'm going to see how far up I can run my bankroll using the similar same table here. Hopefully I can do it. 23 people playing along, 29 people watching, 19 likes. And dice out.
246, Kevin the Carpenter 2x4. So, Mad Hatter, were you at the Craps for the Cure? And if so, who are you? Because I don't recall seeing you there. Good morning, David. Thank you for the compliment. 5423. And let's go all bet set. And we have an ace deuce, first ace deuce for the day. 1, 2, 3, craps, Alfredo sauce. Working at the Craps for the Cure event this weekend, I did get to meet quite a few people, but I didn't get out and about as much. Yeah, okay, you were not there. I didn't think so. The room rates were unreal. You donated the silver. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you very much for the donation, Mad Hatter. Very, very much appreciated. At the event, I did get out to talk to some of the people. I thought I caught most of the people that were there, but I was doing a lot of behind scenes there. So, for example, when Craig was running the show, John was obviously the MC in that. But I was the one standing right across from John, trying to interrupt him every time a donation was made or a question came in the chat. So I was asking the questions on behalf of the chat. So that was primarily my role. I was also the cheese curd provider on the first day. I was able to smuggle in 4 pounds of cheese, and I did get caught bringing it in. I got pulled aside in the airport security on the way down, and they were inquiring why I had cheese in my suitcase. It was kind of funny. So 5423, they did let me go through though with it. Go figure. I got pulled aside going down. I told everybody it was because they thought I was an advanced shooter. They didn't want to hit that in Vegas, but they saw it. It's kind of a side joke. 459, the hard 9, Big Daddy Mac. But the cheese curds, and I brought some string cheese down, fresh from the factory. By the time I got down there and I got it out to people, it was probably about 4 days old. It was still pretty darn good, but not as good as it would have been fresh if I would have brought it that day. I bought it. Let's go all but set here. Place out. Oop, dice are splitting. Let's regrip them. Place out. 2, 4, 6. Cabinet Carpenter 2x4. So 6 and 8 is hot on this dice set. That was my first experience down in Vegas, so I had a lot of things that I saw that I expected to see, but there was a lot of things that I saw that I did not expect or that shocked me a little bit. Mostly talking about the walking down the strip and all that. Thanks out. How we go all bet set here first, huh? Nice out. Place right die rolled around. Well, you have a 2-2 hard for the hard fuzzy 4. 2-2, it's going to cruise. Brian from Holy Roller. And when I was at Sunset, I was actually standing next to Brian from Holy Roller and Leon from Great Craps. Both great individuals and two totally different ways of playing the game from the two of them. So that was kind of neat. People watching on the strip was the best. There's some interesting people there, Justin. Definitely interesting things to see, especially on Fremont Street was also. So Glenn's struggling on his extended plays. Currently $56 over goal with $6.55 on the table. There you go. There you go. Good. Jen needs to answer that question. I'm not sure. At header. I know that they put some stuff up, and I know they're going to extend the auction till Veterans Day. And if you watched John's show yesterday, he explains the reasoning why he's extending the auctions. And it basically, in the short version of it, and make sure you watch John's show, but the short version of it is we fell about $5,000 short of naming rights. So he wants to see if he can name the dog after Ed from Roll the Wind's son, who had passed away recently. They out. 246, Kevin Carpenter, 2x4. So that was the main reason he wanted to extend the auction. So if it didn't auction off already, it will auction off as an item. I will say that a lot of the people that made contributions, small and big, was greatly appreciated, and it is obviously going to a good cause. So make sure you guys go over to crapsforthecure.com on the website and put some bids on that stuff. Let's get that table up. The table that I built only when I had left brought in $912. Remember that I will and John will be delivering that table shortly after the auction, hopefully. We're doing a road trip together, so we'll deliver to whoever wins the bid. Days out. $358, the Grape Ape. I do know that the number one prize at the current moment that people were bidding on was the Alaskan Cruise. I know that was a hot one. I know that mine was in number 2, and Heavy Holtham was number 3. That is a great way to memorialize Ed Son. It is very much so. And all bets set. Day sounds. Two hard fuzzy 4, and Brian. Let's go on a cruise with Brian from Holy Roller. So hopefully you're making money on this roll. We have a lot of repeat numbers on this roll. So this one should be profitable for most people. 5, 4, 2, 3 dice set. And all but set. Dice out. Dice crossed again. 2, 5, 7. And that is a Bruce. So that's the 7 we had the last time as well. But we're going to wrap it up with that for our rolls for the day. Let's get this entered into Crapsee, and then we'll go through our end of the day statistics. So let's look at what we did today. Today we had a 5, 8, 2, 16, and a 10. So 2 green numbers up there. We had an SOR today of 8.2, SRR of 6.8. Come out 7 is 1. Our hot numbers today were the 6, the 9, and the 4. So that was actually looking good. So box numbers are high today. Inside numbers are high today. 4s and 10s are high. Come out 7s are low. Horns are low. Fields are expected. Hardways were right around that expected level as well. Looking at our black belt statistics, and this is through the end of, I don't even know what day it's through the end of. I do know that the last session that I threw last week, I did not include in these statistics. I couldn't remember if it was just me or if it was me and Mary. I think it was me and Mary who actually rolled that out. So I didn't include those in today's statistics, but so far in the black belt level, we have 6,948 throws with an SOR of 9.54, an SRR of 6.56, and a BSR of 6.62. So let's come back. We'll check the chats really quick before we wrap up the show here. Thank you, Jerry. Glenn says he was slowly building up his bets, and that took him back to 503 profit. That's awesome. So $3 over goal. That's great. Thank you, Mad Hatter. Jen gives a thumbs up. And David, $4,000 bankroll is a pretty decent bankroll, so I'm sorry. That's what we're going to stick with. I do only have $500 max bets because that's what my home casino's at. So, Naval's asking if I practice more than on these live sessions. No, I do not. What you see is what you get. This series and my journey is shown in front of all of you guys. So what you see is what I do. I don't do anything extra other than if I'm shooting, say, a video that's an edited video, and I put those out at a later time. That's the only extra stuff that I would do. And it simply comes down to time that I have available because I work 50 hours a week. Plus I work third shift, so it's tough for me to do anything more than that. Brian says, nice throwing. Thank you very much. Justin, you are very welcome. And John, I think, does have a show today, but tomorrow he may not. And if he does tomorrow, it might be a little bit late. But I'm not sure. Check over Casino Gaming TV to see if John is going live in a few minutes. But hey, my name is Joe. This is my Craps Master Dice Shooting Journey. Let's make it yours too. Everybody have a great day. Be safe and be prosperous.